The artificial intelligence art generators that are available for use are mind-boggling. The more I experiment with them, the more blown away I am. I just recently uploaded an AI's visual representation of the book of Genesis from the English Standard Version of the Bible. If you haven't seen that yet, I highly recommend checking it out. The idea of a machine contemplating the beginning of life through its art just absolutely fascinated me, and it did not disappoint. This video, I wanted to go to the complete opposite side of the spectrum. We're going to see just how AI will interpret the end of the world as described in Revelations. So I start the story in chapter 8 with the 7 trumpets, for those of you who are familiar. Now the 7 angels who had the 7 trumpets prepared to blow them. The first angel blew his trumpet, and there followed hail and fire, mixed with blood, and these were thrown upon the earth. And a third of the earth was burned up, and a third of the trees were burned up, and all green grass was burned up. The second angel blew his trumpet, and something like a great mountain, burning with fire, was thrown into the sea, and a third of the sea became blood. A third of the living creatures in the sea died, and a third of the ships were destroyed. The third angel blew his trumpet, and a great star fell from heaven, blazing like a torch, and it fell on a third of the rivers and on the springs of water. The name of the star is Wormwood. A third of the waters became wormwood, and many people died from the water, because it had been made bitter. The fourth angel blew his trumpet, and a third of the sun was struck, and a third of the moon, and a third of the stars, so that a third of their light might be darkened, and a third of the day might be kept from shining, and likewise a third of the night. And the fifth angel blew his trumpet, and I saw a star fallen from the heaven to earth, and he was given the key to the shaft of the bottomless pit. He opened the shaft of the bottomless pit, and from the shaft rose smoke like the smoke of a great furnace, and the sun and the air were darkened with the smoke from the shaft. Then the sixth angel blew his trumpet, and I heard a voice from the 4 horns of the golden altar before God, saying to the sixth angel who had the trumpet, "Release the 4 angels who are bound at the great river Euphrates." So the 4 angels, who had been prepared for the hour, the day, the month, and the year, were released to kill a third of mankind. Then I saw another mighty angel coming down from heaven, wrapped in a cloud, with a rainbow over his head, and his face was like the sun, and his legs like pillars of fire. He had a little scroll open in his hand. Then God's temple in heaven was opened, and the Ark of the Covenant was seen within his temple. There were flashes of lightning, rumblings, peals of thunder, an earthquake, and heavy hail. I saw a beast rising out of the sea, with 10 horns and 7 heads, with 10 diadems on its horn. And the beast that I saw was like a leopard, and its feet were like a bear's, and its mouth was like a lion's mouth. I saw a beast rising out of the earth. It had 2 horns like a lamb. Let the one who has understanding calculate the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. I saw another sign in heaven, great and amazing, 7 angels with 7 plagues, which are the last, for with them the wrath of God is finished. The first angel went and poured out his bowl on the earth, and harmful and painful sores came upon the people who bore the mark of the beast and worshipped its image. The second angel poured out his bowl into the sea, and it became like the blood of a corpse, and every living thing died that was in the sea. The third angel poured out his bowl into the rivers and the springs of water, and they became blood. The fourth angel poured out his bowl on the sun, and it was allowed to scorch people with fire. The fifth angel poured out his bowl on the throne of the beast, and its kingdom was plunged into darkness. The sixth angel poured out his bowl on the great river Euphrates, and its water was dried up. The seventh angel poured out his bowl into the air, and a loud voice came out of the temple, from the throne, saying, "It is done." And there were flashes of lightning, rumblings, peals of thunder, and a great earthquake, such as there had never been since man was on the earth. So great was that earthquake.